Lesson 3, how to release negative emotions. In the last lesson, I shared a few tools to increase positive feel-good chemicals and reduce stress chemicals. In this lesson, I'll be sharing tools to release negative emotions. If you can imagine blowing up a balloon, you know that if you fill it with too much air, then there's a danger of it popping. It might blow up if you touch it, or it might just blow up for no reason at all. People are the same way. If we are filled with too much stress, anger, and negativity, we might blow up at the slightest provocation or for no reason at all. But if we are able to release some of that pent-up frustration and anger, then we're better able to handle our other problems. Many people swallow their anger, frustration, or shame. But swallowing our emotions is not the same thing as letting them go. When we swallow our anger, frustration, or shame, it literally becomes trapped in our bodies and causes health problems. It harms our mental, emotional, and physical health. So I'm going to share a few tools to release those trapped emotions in ways that don't hurt anyone else in the process. The first tool is a foam pool noodle. A foam pool noodle makes a satisfying smack when you smack it against a chair or sofa or bed. You can go to your room, close the door, and get out your frustrations while smacking the bed with your foam noodle and yelling. Don't hold anything back. Get it all out. It's okay to be angry. It's what we do with that anger that matters. This provides a safe way to let it go because you're not hurting anyone or anything. Sometimes, even as adults, we need to have a good, cathartic temper tantrum. Afterwards, take a few deep breaths. You can turn on soothing music, and you'll feel so much better. The next tool is to write a letter you won't send. If someone else's words or actions hurt you, we need to let it go, or it will become trapped inside and become a part of you. You can write a letter telling this person how you feel. Don't hold back, lay it all out, what they did and said and how it made you feel. When you're done, don't send it and don't save it. This exercise is about healing. It's not about getting revenge. Healing is about putting out fires. Revenge is about making fires bigger. Bigger fires just cause more damage. Tear the letter up into tiny pieces or burn it. The next step is to write their apology to you. This is what you want them to say, even if in real life they never actually do. You might say, "You're right. What I did was wrong. It was inexcusable, and I'm so sorry." Writing a letter you don't send and their apology helps calm the subconscious mind and satisfy our intrinsic need for justice and fairness. Regardless of what the other person does in real life, we can still heal because the hurt is actually inside of us, and the healing that needs to take place is inside of us. And we don't need anybody else to say or do anything to make that happen. We have the power to heal and let it go. The next tool is a journaling exercise. Often, when something happens in our life that upsets us, the thing that we think we're upset about isn't the real problem. It's actually just a trigger to something deeper. Perhaps it reminds us of something from the past. Sometimes it's even hidden and we can't remember what it was, but it's still hurting us. Journaling to find the root can help us find the underlying cause of our emotions. Grab a piece of paper and a pen and write, "I feel whatever it is you're feeling, because at the top of the page, and then start writing whatever comes to mind. When you can't think of anything else, pick up the pen and say to yourself, "Thank you for helping me find that." Now, dig deeper and put the pen back to the piece of paper and keep writing. This helps the mind begin to dig into the unconscious portion of our mind, which is usually where the real problem is hidden. 95% of our brain activity is unconscious. Whenever we're trying to heal, if we're not accessing the subconscious mind, we're not going to be very successful. If you're interested in more tools to access the subconscious mind, I have another video series called Heal Your Life from the Inside Out. It's available for free on the Hope for Healing website at hopeforhealingfoundation.org. Another tool that we can use to release negative emotions is called EFT tapping. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. It's a form of acupressure that helps release stress and negative energy. It looks a little strange, but it's effective. In one study, researchers took a group of stressed people and tested their cortisol levels. Then they divided them into 3 groups. One group did traditional talk therapy, another did EFT tapping, and the control group did nothing. An hour later, they tested their cortisol levels again. The control group was the same before and after. The therapy group was also pretty much the same, but the group that did the EFT tapping had an average of 24% decrease in cortisol levels, with some participants having as much as a 50% decrease. The change was so dramatic, in fact, that the lab who did the testing had to test the samples again to see if it was a mistake, but it wasn't. EFT tapping is an effective tool to reduce stress. It accesses the unconscious, and that gives bigger results. You start by tapping the side of your hand. Then you tap the inside of the eyebrow, the outside of the eye, the cheekbone under the eye, then just above the upper lip, and just below the lower lip. Then you tap the collarbone and the top of the rib cage, and finally the top of the head. And you can repeat that as a cycle. Now, just tapping will help reduce stress, but it has even more impact if you also talk as you tap. As you tap your hand, you say, "Even though I'm stressed, I love and accept myself completely." Then, as you tap the other points, you just talk through whatever it is you're feeling, like, "I feel so stressed. There is no way I can get everything done. People expect way too much from me. I'm totally overwhelmed," and so on. Keep tapping until you feel your body start to relax. Then you might say something like, "Actually, I know I can do this. I've got the skills. I've done it before and I've made it through before. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do a great job." In the next video, I'll explain how to stop negative self-talk and how to reduce the intake of negativity.